Come on, let's be positive. Just stop right there. No negativity. Let's be positive. LBP, let's be positive.
Let's be positive, mate. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
Just fantastic, Martin. That's how you do it. That is a lesson in cricket. That's how you win the World Cup in India against India, a team that has been unbeaten during the tournament but came to the final hurdle. And, they stumbled. They fell, didn't they? 240. Never enough. It was never going to be enough.
Yeah, everything that they did up until that point, was almost perfect, wasn't it? And that's the word. It was almost perfect. They rolled you in the round robin. So did South Africa. But the two teams that you beat to win the tournament when it mattered most were South Africa and India. And to be fair, Matt, you smoked both games.
Yeah, we smoked them both. Travis Head, superb man of the match, 137. Strike rate of 114. Bowled a couple of overs for 2 runs and over. But he has just come on in leaps and bounds. And I tell you what, we've just had some amazing individual performances at the times that it matters.
Yeah. And that's cricket. That's cricket, though, isn't it? You see, it's one of those weird kind of team games that all you need is 2 or 3 of your guys to stand up every match. And different players do it for Australia. I look at Travis Head, mate. He looks as though he should be playing Saturday. And no disrespect to the Twizel Pavilion, but he's the fat guy out in the middle, isn't he? Who's actually smacking boundaries and everyone thinks, I was that guy, I could be that guy. He doesn't look like an athlete.
No, and we love them. How does he made it? What's he doing? Why is he out there? There were questions about whether he should have been there.
Yeah.
Well, he showed that he should be there. Mitchell Marsh, amazing performance during the tournament too. And you stand up. That's what you need. I mean, that's the interesting thing about cricket is, unlike rugby, Martin, where you have to hold the line, you need 15 players all in unison at one time. Everyone can be off their game, and you can have a bowler has an absolute blinder, and one of your batsmen just does something extraordinary, and you win the game. And India will be ruining their score. 240.
Oh, well short, 60 or 70 short. You needed 300. But when Solar Panel Pat said, I'm bowling first, I heard you from Twizel going, what are you doing, mate? What are you doing, mate?
Always bat first.
Always bat first.
Yeah, I know. These are the things about sport too, is you think you know, but you don't know.
Don't know jack,
Look,
mate.
You bat first. We're going to back ourselves, and then we'll get the runs easily. 241 for 4, 7 overs spare for the Australian team.
You were 47 for 3. There was hope for the rest of the world at that stage. But you know what? And this is the comparison I'm making. It's very much like Ireland playing the All Blacks in the quarterfinal. They had won 18 in a row. They were the best team in the world. They were playing like they were the best team in the world, but they hadn't, in that tournament, come up against any adversity. They hadn't been behind. And when that started to happen, it was very clear they had no plan B. They had no change-up. They didn't know what to do when what they did do wasn't working.
Yeah. And when you come up against the team that's been on a roll on the way home, it's hard to overcome that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of these tournaments. It's, the last 6 weeks does seem to drag out a little bit, but it's over again. Australia for the 6th time.
Sixth time, yeah. I mean, that's just nuts, mate. That's okay. Put everything else aside you've done this year. Retain the Ashes, win the World Test Championship, got to the semi-finals, I think, of the T20 as well, and what were the holders? But in one day cricket, which you and me have grown up on, and there's something very special about this particular tournament. And I go back to those windy sides, 75, 79, and I go back to those Aussie sides, 03 and 07. Mate, this team on paper doesn't rank along those sides. Yet this is the amazing thing about Australian cricket. You don't care who you select, as long as that person comes to play. And as I said, every second game, every other guy steps up. It's just brilliant, mate. I mean, it's the perfect recipe for a knockout tournament, isn't it?
It's the perfect recipe for the perfect result. Yeah. You've said it all. I don't need to add to it. All I know is that for once... I feel
sick in my stomach, mate. I feel
For
sick.
once, I've been supporting a team and they've come through and they've delivered the bickies.
Yeah.
It's been a pretty long year, here, there and everywhere. Rugby World Cup, the Rugby League, beaten by the Kiwis. The Rugby League, NRL, Bulldogs, hopeless. They're even trying to AI me into thinking we'll be 17th.
That's it.
And yet here we are, and Australia have a World Cup again. Fantastic. And look, everyone was thinking India. Huge, big stadium over there. Huge support. Absolutely mad for the game. Lost the one that counted. And that just makes it even sweeter, doesn't it?
Hamish McLennan would probably be the only Australian not celebrating today, do you think?
Well, he resigned. No, he was fired. No, he was rejected by the board. Look, it's time to go.
Isn't it?
How
many times does she say to you, listen, I want to break up with you? Oh, no, listen, I need your mother-in-law and your father, your sister and my brother to vote on that. Look, they all want you just to pack your shit and F off, mate. No, look, honestly, I think we should have one more discussion. He rang the sponge out as much as he could, didn't he?
Well, on Sunday, he's quoted as saying, I'm not going anywhere. And here we are. He's gone.
I've got the numbers, he said. I've got the numbers.
Saying, it's like Eddie saying, I'm going to hang on. I'll keep going. Boom. Mm-hmm. He's gone. When the board speaks, people listen. You have to go. So he's decided to retire. Does he want to put this tenure on his resume? Australian rugby have just continued down and down and down and down. You need a fresh broom.
Yeah.
Bring in the fresh broom. Yeah. It's as simple as that. Look, as good or bad as you are in a situation like this, when the organisation has taken the tumble the way it has, you can't sack the whole team.
Look, it's like that idiot Andy, whatever his name was, who was the CEO of New Zealand football, and it's just absolute waste of space. Everybody knew it, and in the end, oh no, I'm retiring, more time with my family. I'm going to go and watch my beloved Liverpool, dude. You know, you're half a second away from a foot up your backside, mate, booting you out the door. Just go quietly with some friggin' dignity. I mean, and now the photo that comes back to haunt is that glorious shot of Mark Robinson, the CEO of New Zealand Rugby, and Hamish McLennan. Remember that one with the shoes off, the sand shoes off, walking down the beach with the roll-up pants holding a rugby ball?
There's so much romance.
Yeah.
You roll up your cuffs and you put your toes into the water and you just say, everything is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about the world is going beautifully. We're going to work hand in glove. This is going to be the relationship going forward. Well, until it isn't. So where do we go from here?
Yeah.
Well, a former player. Who did I read they were going
Daniel
to throw
Herbert's
up?
going. Daniel Herbert, actually. No,
Daniel Herbert.
Yeah, no, he's actually. Look, I've heard him. He's a very funny after-dinner speaker, actually. Apparently a very successful businessman. Made a fortune from selling tickets to the 1991 Rugby World Cup final when it was all amateur and things. So he's got a little bit of business now, so knows how to sort of, take a little bit here and a little bit there and get a deal done. The problem with McLennan, mate, is that he sat there pounding his chest, acting like King Kong, mouthing off at the NRL, going to get all of these players, sign this guy, sign that guy. And now what? You're left with nothing again, Matt. That's where your rugby is. As high as your cricket might be, is as low as your rugby is.
Well, I mean, that's the absolute truth, isn't it? Herbert comes in, he's got a fair job to do.
Yeah.
And not only has he got a big hill to climb, but some pretty murky waters to sort out before they start to climb the hill again. There seems to be a lot of dumb decisions in Australian rugby. I would think that viewership and interest would almost be at an all-time low. So they've got to rebuild. So, look, I hate to say it, but I have to go with the experience that I do have with the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs.
Yes.
And once a CEO walks away and you've hit rock bottom, it can take you a decade to come back.
I'm just saying, just because you turn the page doesn't mean that the story gets any better. A couple of things to finish on. Let's be positive about the All Whites because, the players are happy and the culture's great. These two, our men's and women's round ball football teams, the most underachieving sports sides in New Zealand. The answer to that is yes. Get a goal. Win a game. Stop posting on social media about how, in the mini practice, Team Blue beat Team Pink. We don't care. Just get a friggin' goal, mate.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I'll get one against Ireland on Wednesday, that's for sure. But, again, look, one of the things that's has kind of annoyed me over the years, and I thought it's been a bit of a restraint of trade, is the way the All Blacks go about maintaining that their players don't go anywhere, and to play in certain positions and play in certain competitions, you have to be based in a certain place. Well, the All Whites will never get that, will they? But
No.
that's the one thing that at least delivers the All Blacks the base that they can draw on to go forward. The All Whites will never get there, will they?
No,
it's
no,
just too difficult. The scene's just too hard. I mean, with all due respect to all the good players they've got playing in decent sides around the world, to come together for the minimum amount of games, for international friendlies, no actual competition as such. I mean, you know, they are what they are, these friendlies. Okay, we play and Ireland might put out a B team and whatever else. But I just don't see how you can actually try and bring players together from all over the show all the time and ever be successful.
No,
and, of course, they're broke as well.
Not a good recipe. And
They're
also,
broke
look,
as
the
well,
other thing about it is, you know, you got Chris Wood and maybe Marco, who's playing at a Champions League level, and most of the rest are actually playing second division, third division Denmark football. Okay, so I mean, they strut their stuff and they're professional players and they like to tell you and remind you of that all the time. But in actual fact, are they actually out there playing in the A leagues in any of these countries? And the answer to that is no. And, you know, I call us the buttocks, mate. We get the ball, we pass it backwards, we show our ass to the opposition. That's what we are at the moment. And they can talk a good game and talk it up as much as they like. And qualifying for a World Cup where you actually beat the Pacific Island nations and get to go to the United States because there's now 150 teams at the World Cup doesn't mean jack. Start playing now, you clown. Anyway, we'll just finish on Max Verstappen because if you want ungratefulness, if you want a guy that is just staring in the mirror every day and not realizing that the reason that flash shirt, the gold chain, the diamond-studded earring, and the tailor-cut suit is because he drives a race car, then this guy needs a dose of reality, doesn't he? Shut up and get on with it. If you don't like Las Vegas, dude, don't go to Las Vegas.
Well, they're trying to continue to grow Formula One and do new things. You know Las Vegas is going to be a circus. In fact, I think it was on Friday night that I came back to the house and my wife is watching a Netflix series and it's a golf tournament with the Formula One players in it.
Right, okay.
They're playing in the middle of Vegas, near that big ball thing, right? And so it's a joke. But these Formula One drivers also have to realise that Netflix, the audience they deliver, and these stupid circus-like activities they have to take part in, that's all part of keeping Formula One where it is. It was dying.
That's it.
It was gone.
It was gone.
You know?
And all of a sudden, it got revived with Drive to Survive. That's where the new audience came from. You know, the prattishness of these people it leaves me dumbfounded at times, doesn't it? This is the hand that's feeding you. I'm going to bite it. No. This is the hand that's feeding you, moron.
And feeding them extremely well. Extremely well. And look, let's be honest, he's just driven away with the last couple of seasons. And if it wasn't for some of the other drivers in the competition, Formula One would go back to where it was. The reason Drive to Survive was successful is that they focused on the guys that no one ever hears about.
That's it.
All you hear is Max Verstappen's name every week. But that wasn't enough for Formula One. They needed a wider view of the guys that actually struggle. Even though you think they're at the top of the world, they've never got a chance when you watch the TV show, and yet they still show up and get paid their enormous money just to be out there. That's because of what happened in Las Vegas. It's not because of the drivers themselves. It's because of the publicity that all of those sponsors get worldwide, and they would love the Netflix. And Verstappen, like golfers and tennis players that complain about how hard their lives are, I'm totally deaf to it.